The third eye, also known as the pineal gland, is considered by most religions and ancient civilizations as the gateway to deeper spiritual connection with higher consciousness and realms of the being's outer. The terminology pineal gland is derived from the early Latin word pinna, which translates into the word pinecone. In relation to the human body, the pineal gland, which very closely resembles the shape of a pinecone, is approximately the size of a green pea, centered almost directly in the middle of the brain, right above the brain stem. The primary function of the pineal gland, aside regulating the body's internal clock, is believed to be the production of hormones, such as melatonin, that manage and control the sleeping and waking patterns of human life forms. The pineal gland contains very sensitive to light nerve endings, a retina and photoreceptors that are non-visual but yet still react to light. Ancient civilizations and mystics alike have all in different centuries and times referred to the pineal gland as the third eye, and believed it to be the eye of the brain and the eye of the spirit self. An eye that when open can connect way beyond the known physical reality, into the realms of higher consciousness, deeper spiritual intuition and unparalleled clarity. This is endorsed by the fact that the third eye seems to appear in every single religion that can be dated as far back as to 6000 BCE, in an era when the practice of meditation took on prominence. A closed third eye can be equated to being in the normal waking state of a shackled reality existence. One plagued with the lack of a deeper sense of a purpose of one's existence in the greater scheme of things, pessimism and an inability to awaken self to the reality and wonders of higher consciousness and grace of universal powers. It is being limited to the 5 natural senses of the fleeting existence of physicality. In other words, bondage to inactivity of mind, body and the soul's limitless potential. On the other hand, an open third eye is the result of the awakening of the self. It is an expansion of the being of self, into the realms of higher consciousness and beyond the restrictions of the 5 physical senses. Put another way, opening your third eye is the definitive proof that your soul self has arisen, to the realm of its nature. The realm of spirituality and liberation of the mind, body and soul from bondage. It is the endowment of universal powers of the self, like telekinesis, clairaudience, clairvoyance, mediumship and so on. Powers that afford its user, the host of the awakened self, the unequivocal ability to tap into the secrets of universal existence and interact with other worldly beings. The open third eye is literally the ability to tune into other planes of existence way beyond ours, irrespective of century, time and space continuum. All in their independent existences, naturally broadcasting frequencies, energies and vibrations, that contain within them higher consciousness and deeper intuitive insights on everything that was, is, and will be. An open third eye is the understanding and ability to interpret the universal language of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla once famously said, and I quote, "If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." The operative words are think and in. Get it? An unopened third eye is to think in physicality, whereas activating or opening the third eye is to think in frequency, energy and vibration. Things of the spirit can only be done or perceived in the spirit state of being. The open third eye is the spirit state of being. I cannot emphasize just how important a role the act of striving for the opening of the third eye, otherwise known as pineal gland activation, actually influences the success of it happening. The pineal gland is in many ways just like a muscle. When exercised, its efficiency and use potential increases drastically. The human life form is by nature or design intuition ready, and the deliberate exercising of that gift through the medium of meditation or spiritual meditation, to be exact, amplifies its ability and power. There are several practices that are all aimed at stimulating an awakening of the pineal gland. In an article published by the National Library of Medicine, a study to measure future unknown events stated, "Intuition is a familiar facet of experience that can be a powerful transforming mediator that can inform and potentially redirect the path of an individual's life." In recent times, more neuroscientists are awakening to the fact that the existence of the pineal gland or third eye does, in fact, have a use case in connection with unexplainable spiritual experiences, outer worldly phenomena and beings outer. Every religious book from the Holy Bible to the Bhagavad Gita has been stating this fact, in messages, verses and depicted illustrations for centuries. Opening of the third eye is an undertaking of intuitive perception that involves the heart, brain and nervous system, otherwise known as the chakra system, with the field of information way beyond the scope of the normal conscious physicality state. It is therefore imperative to remove the blockages that hinder a clear path of the energy flow from the base of the spine to the brainstem where the energy concentrates and pulsates, causing the pineal gland to go into a state of being of full spirit functionality. There have been several references to the third eye as being the seat of the soul, where the mind, body and soul trinity converge into a vortex of energy. When this convergence of the trinity is done in the correct state of being, there is always a transformation of self. Once again, transformation of self has been at the heart of every single religion dating back several thousands of years. Opening of the third eye is directly linked to the ability to connect with higher consciousness and the having of extrasensory perceptions that have an unparalleled ability to within itself bring about transformation of self, by tearing down the illusion of the physical state of being and replacing it with a higher consciousness and connection with greater universal knowledge of the being's outer. Paranormal abilities such as astral projection, lucid dreaming, meditative travel, auto-writing, levitation, prophecy, psychokinesis, pyrokinesis and much more are among the psychic abilities available to anyone who can correctly open their third eye. The question many ask is that if the third eye is in fact a natural part of the human existence, why would it be closed? While there are many theories as to why the third eye pineal gland would be non-functional or atrophied, some academic factions propagate the idea that dietary habits play a major role in calcifying the pineal gland and making it inactive. Having said that, it is my belief that the third eye by design only naturally opens when the correct state of being is attained and will continue to remain open provided that that state of being is also maintained. In other words, the opening of the third eye is directly proportional to the existence of the correct spiritual state of being. As mentioned before, things of the spirit can only be done and perceived in the state of being of spirit. On a mental note, a flower bud only opens onto itself when specific conducive conditions prevail. Are we on the same page? The third eye is an extension of the spirit self, therefore being in the state of the physical self, cannot activate, open, or decalcify the pineal gland. Such action would be equal to trying to stop an asteroid from impacting the Earth by chewing bubblegum. Similarly, the inability to manifest desires, wishes, and wants has been linked to the failure of people to deeply relate precise information about their desires, wishes, and wants to their subconscious minds. You cannot constantly think of what you don't want or desire, and expect to manifest into your life the opposite, what you actually want or desire. In other words, you cannot plant a field of apple seeds, and in harvest, reap a field of oranges, grapes or passion fruit. It has never happened before, and never will. What you sow is what you reap. Every seed, thought or action will always bear fruits of its kind. To open the third eye or activate the pineal gland, and for that matter, to do anything in connection with mind, body and spirit, requires an individual to beforehand, constantly resonate in a state of mind, body and spirit proportional to what their end game intention is. As is within, so is without, as is above, so too is below. For centuries the secret of how to manifest, do or be anything, has been hidden in plain sight. The reason why the third eye or pineal gland in modern times remains inactive in a greater percentage of the human populace, is the fact that from a young age, we are conditioned or programmed to think, believe and act in a specific manner that is governed by societal thinking. Which in most cases, is so far removed from the conditions, thoughts and actions conducive for the correct state of being, that promotes the natural opening of the third eye. We live in a society where listening to the inner voice of self and wisdom as regards spirituality, is all too often misunderstood and sometimes, labeled, ridiculed, discouraged and silenced. Let's face it, spiritual transformation or liberation of self, is not a thing that we are programmed to think from childhood. It is normally a choice, made by an individual in adulthood, based on their personal circumstances. Global consciousness, spirituality and awakening of self have in today's world, taken a back seat to making money online and how to become financially free. The issue here is, the further away a person gets from their childhood state of being, where it is naturally easier to activate the third eye and pineal gland, due to the fact that the pineal gland, in childhood is less likely to be calcified or atrophied, the harder or more effort it takes to activate, or decalcify the pineal gland in adulthood. It is not impossible, it's just harder and requires devotion to some sort of spiritual practice, regularity, and discipline, that most can't sustain. Also, the over-expectation and lack of instant gratification prevents people from exploring the spirit state of self. Finally, As we grow older, the neural pathways that connect the entire chakra system of mind, body and spirit to higher consciousness gets blocked due to dietary habits and primarily disuse. This blockage in return prevents the flow of energy, frequency and vibration necessary for the existence of the spirit state of being. If you don't use it, you lose it. Activation of the third eye or pineal gland is the greatest endeavor a person can embark on. However, attempting to open the third eye is not something that should be considered or done hastily. The repercussions from incorrectly trying to open the third eye often ends in a complete disconnection from physicality and societal thinking. Trying to gain instant access to the entirety of the trillions of information containing energies, frequencies and vibrations that exist in this vast and void multiverse of higher consciousness, in an instant, is like attempting to connect a 300 watts microwave to the raw power of a nuclear substation. I don't need to tell you what the outcome of that would be. Opening of the third eye in adulthood is about taking one step at a time, consistency, determination and a whole lot of practice. Thinking of the results of an open third eye, during practice, will only hinder you from devotion to the work of activation of the pineal gland or opening of the third eye. Plant the seed, and all things being equal, nature will give you a bounty and harvest. Having said that, there exist several powerful exercises that produce higher consciousness experiences for some individuals. Several traditions caution against esoteric methods of altering any part of one's consciousness, and to that effect, it is advisable that on your journey to awakening and spiritual enlightenment, you exercise great caution and care. However, the following is a natural and relatively easy way to open your third eye or activate your pineal gland correctly, in accordance to ancient wisdom and religious practice. Please use the method at your own discretion. The fundamentals. Firstly, do some research until you have a firm theoretical foundation of the purpose and reason for practicing breath meditation. If you have a firm understanding of the theories and principles that govern breath meditation, the third eye or the pineal gland, and how in the past, civilizations from all walks of life have gone about its activation, you will stand a greater chance of successfully realizing what you set out to do. In the mental process of painstakingly researching the subject matter, you are prepositioning the subconscious mind to the desire for awakening of self. That action alone will place you in the correct state of being for the next part of the process. Breath meditation, the TIM technique, based on Nikola Tesla's famous Secrets of the Universe statement. After you have got a firm understanding of the fundamentals, the next milestone is to begin your journey into awakening of self with the practice of only breath meditation. One of the principal reasons why people cannot go into the state of being of the third eye, after the inability to get into the correct state of being, is the blockage of the chakra system. The use of meditation is a very potent and powerful means, if done correctly, to clear all blockages of your chakra system. When I use the term blockage, I refer to the lack of supply of electrical current to any part of the chakra system. For all intents and purposes, the chakra system is an invisible yet very real electrical system that belongs not to you, the human being, but to the dormant spirit self that rests inside you. Call it by whatever name you choose, but you get the principal point. The current must flow freely throughout the entire system of self. In cases where there is a lack of continuous free flow of electrical current, blockages occur. Let's take an example that illustrates the problem. You have a set of 6 filament light bulbs that are connected in line, meaning that the bulbs switch on one after the other in sequence. In a case where all the bulbs are functional, when you apply an electrical current, they should work in perfect order, and when all the 6 bulbs are lit, you have illumination. On the other hand, if one or more of the light bulbs are defective or they cannot receive a supply of electrical current passing through it, you have a blockage of the electrical current. In this instance, you will not have correct functionality, the bulbs will not fire in sequence, and as a result you will not have illumination. Breath meditation. This exercise will give you best results if done just before you retire to bed, and much greater results if consistently done, between the hours of 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. The use of breath meditation is a means of supplying the current to all the points of the chakra system of the spirit or soul, because within the air that you breathe, contains in its substance prana, subtle electrical current, vital for the functioning of the chakra system. Master breathing meditation, and you will be able to push and pull electrical current throughout the entire chakra system, for the benefit of your spirit self. Spirit is invisible, and as such the organs of spirit are also invisible but exist nonetheless. Stay with the breath meditation exercises, only concentrating on your breath and its direction of travel within you, until you get to a level where you can for a duration feel the flow of warm prana, the subtle energies, frequencies and vibrations from the surrounding environment or universe as you meditate. The object is to inhale for 3 seconds, hold your breath for 3 seconds and then push the breath down towards your solar plexus for 6 seconds, then for a total of 9 seconds, exhale the rest of your breath through your nose and pause for a beat. Then repeat this 3, 6 and 9 cycle throughout the entire meditation session. Initially, keeping the rhythm and timing will not seem natural to you, but soldier on. Transformation of self only works when you transform self. So, get into the habit of knowing you are transforming into self as you push every breath deep into the solar plexus. You must take mental or written notes of the existing conditions, level of concentration, duration of meditative session, and depth of field and nature of sensations, when you begin to experience them. Then in every new meditation session, try to recreate the exact internal conditions that prevailed when you first experienced the perception of energy, frequency and vibrations within you. That state becomes your spirit's resonant state of self. And is also what I mean by the terminology, meditate in state of being or being in the vortex. The resonant state of self differs from person to person. Your resonant state of self may be at the level of 369 Hz, while someone else's might be at 441 or 528 Hz and another at 723 Hz. If you continue the practice entering into your resonate state, you will begin to have deep sleep experiences at some point. That is what Nikola Tesla meant in the statement, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. He must have meant think in, as in meditate in or be in. Do you get it now? When this video reaches 1,000 likes and 1,000 subs, I will do a live stream, where I will show you with scientific detail, what happens when you are in the correct resonant state of being during meditation. Please, don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification icon, to the Third Eye Project. It really helps me and the channel grow. So until next time, for the Third Eye Project, I am the voice in the dark.